Um, okay, you're recording. Go ahead. So again, welcome to our session for Universitas Unugiri in Bojonegoro, East Java, presented by me, Frank Landsman, and my good best friend and colleague, my brother, Professor Agus from Universitas Ronggolawe in Tuban. So let's hope for a fruitful session, productive session. It's time to do some more proofreading and editing, because it's important that when you write an academic paper or a research article, a journal article, that you check this yourself. If you send an article to your supervisor or to a journal editor that's full of mistakes, yang banyak kesalahan, they will simply send it back to you and say, fix the English. Bahasa Inggrisnya direvisi dulu ya, diperbaiki. And you better do this beforehand. Lebih baik sebelumnya ya. You just check. And the main points we're going to continue from session 2. So this is session 3, where we look at ways of becoming your own proofreader and editor. So you don't have to pay anybody, but you have to do it yourself. Last time we didn't have time. I think we spent 1.5 hours. There was no time for the last bit, so I copied it again here. If you look at the common errors, kesalahan umum people make, these are the ones that we often see in academic writing from Indonesian lecturers or students. So I've drawn up a list of golden rules. Golden rules means peraturan tertinggi. And these cover several testing points, like unnecessary words, omitted words, gerunds, infinitive. Later on, we'll look at error identification. Now, first of all, in structure and written expression, the golden rules are, and I use two simple signs. An asterisk or little star means ungrammatical sentence, kalimat yang tidak sesuai dengan tata bahasa Inggris yang baik dan benar. And the arrow, ke atas sedikit, the arrow to the right, ada panah ke kanan. What's the meaning? It should be this, yeah. So here at the top, when you see an arrow to the right, panah ke kanan, this means it should be. Seharusnya gini, and you get the correct version. The wrong parts in arrow identification are usually underlined, yeah, di garis bawahi. So you don't have to look at every word in the sentence, but just the 4 underlined parts. Here in the examples, it's just one mistake to make it simple. Rule number 1. Jadi ini golden rules, yeah, you have to know them. Do not combine 2 in 1, like shampoo and conditioner you see in Indonesia. The simple and the continuous forms. Don't mix them up. A lot of people do this by translating saya as I or I am, and then sometimes it goes wrong. So you cannot say, I'm working at BIP Bandung Indah Plaza for weeks. But if it's a temporary job, hanya untuk sementara, I'm working is the correct form. If it's from the past until now, you can say I've been working, but not I working. That is impossible. The same goes for the second form, I'm teach. That is impossible. People think, oh, saya is I am, so saya mengajar, sama dengan I'm teach, tidak ada dalam bahasa Inggris. Ya. So if it's your habit, kebiasaan, habitual action, use the simple present. I teach. I teach there every day, or I teach every month, and so on. Number 3, my daughter was playing chess when the phone was ringed. 2 mistakes here. What was she doing? Lagi bermain catur. So was playing chess. And something happened in the past, simple past, the phone rang. Ring, rang, rang, yeah, you know from school. Ring, rung, rang. Some people turn it into Japanese, ring, rang, rung, but it's ring, rang, rang. In English. So when somebody was doing something, lagi ngapain dia ya, was playing. So don't think the past can just be made by was. That's not always possible. The last one, actually a famous writer here who almost got the Nobel Prize, but Agus knows more about him. Pramudia Nantatur wrote many novels and short stories, and He was recommended for the Nobel Prize. Ya, hampir menang hadiah Nobel, but he died. And Nobel Prizes are not given posthumously after somebody's death. So sadly, there was no Nobel Prize for the Javanese writer here. But here, when you look at the past, Pramudian Antatur, born is impossible, was born. Yeah, you have to use this past tense. Okay. Rule number 2, when there is an indicator of time, like last year, last month, 2 weeks ago, in the 19th century, and so on, that refers to a fixed point in the past, use the past tense, simple past, masa lampau ya in Indonesian. Examples. Last week, I have bought a jazz CD. Impossible in English. Last week is finished. It's in the past. Nasi sudah jadi bubur ya istilahnya. So I bought. Use the simple past here, in this case irregular. In the 1990s, there are as many as 12 native speakers of English at Unpar. That's gone. The 1990s are no longer around, so there were as many as 12 native speakers because it's no longer 1990, or the 1990s down 90-an. In medieval times, pada pertengahan abad, people often burning witches is not going on. Tidak ada yang membakar sihir, ya penyihir sekarang. So burned, in American English, burned with ed. An American friend of mine goes straight to Nias to help out when he hearing about the disaster. This is in the past, yeah. So he went straight to Nias when he heard about the disaster. So keep it in the past. Don't switch to the present. Rule number 3, yes, down a little bit. After a preposition, thank you, use the gerund ing form. In Indonesian school books often ing, but it's not a verb, it's actually a noun. Yeah? So after preposition setelah kata depan, use the ing form or gerund instead of the whole verb to infinitive. Or the so-called bare infinitive without to. Yeah? So you cannot say, I look forward to here, or I look forward here. You have to see it as an action. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. After to watch TV, this should be after watching, yeah? Kata depan, after watching the gerund or ing form. This particular utensil is used for fry. No, for frying, for doing that, the action. Before read the article, okay, turn it into before reading the article. Okay. Here one about me. Frank told us he was looking forward to becoming an Indonesian citizen. And last year I did become an Indonesian citizen in May. Agus knows this. We're compatriots now. Rule number 4. Adverbs, kata keterangan, may modify or change adjectives, kata sifat, verbs, kata kerja, and other adverbs, other adverbs like a double adverb, yeah? Or comment on the rest of the sentence. Ada semacam komentar, always followed by comma in that case. So, examples are, she's really sweet. Although I once met them, I don't really know. Sungguh-sungguh ya, benar-benar Indonesian. On her last tour, Shakira sang incredibly well. Not just well, but incredibly, bukan main bagusnya. When you make a comment, you can use an adverb. Regrettably, sayangnya, some of the survivors did not make it to the hospital. Pada umumnya, generally speaking, Asians are cheerful and friendly. Maybe not every single one, but generally speaking. Anehnya, strangely enough, the king and new queen of Dangdut became enemies. This was about Roma Irama and Imul Daratista, a long time ago now. Okay, so these are the 4 main rules of grammar. If you stick to them, you make fewer mistakes. It's already a step in the right direction. So, another point is check prepositions yang diperiksa dulu ya sebelum kirim makalah Anda ke editor, ke jurnal. Check prepositions, kata depan. especially fixed ones in so-called collocations. Collocations are fixed combinations, words that always go together, and you cannot change them. English is not so flexible as Indonesian. You have to use certain fixed combinations. Many Indonesian academics translate prepositions literally, word for word, from Indonesian into English without realizing, tanpa menyadari, that the required forms may be different. So tertarik dengan in English is not interested with, but my new colleague Alicia is interested in American literature. I've used colors here, I hope you can see them. So red is wrong and green is right. They're just like traffic lights, ya. Seperti lampu lalu lintas. Hati-hati kalau merah, itu pasti terlalu letterak, ya, istilahnya, too literal. When you go down, our team would like to add some fresh ideas towards the new syllabus. A lot of Indonesians use terhadap in every sentence in English, but it's not possible here. You contribute towards a project, but here you add to, just to, not towards. Towards means menjelang, yeah, you give something extra, but here add to. Shall we have a lunch meeting, number 3? In your campus or mine. So people from different campuses are trying to work together and they suggest a lunch meeting. In is the wrong preposition. Kata depan yang salah, yang keliru. So shall we have a lunch meeting on your campus or mine? Okay, but at a university. Penulis terkenal lagi ya, Putu Wijaya. The playwright Putu Wijaya was born at the island of Bali. No, when you talk about islands, always on Sumatra, on Bali, on Java. When you switch to a province like West Java, where I live, then you switch to in, because it's a geographical name. So I live on the island of Java, but in West Java. Okay, so, and you live in East Java. Then number 5, our train will be stopping on Jombang in the way to Malang. Be careful. You don't live on a city. They'll be on top of a mountain, yeah? On Mount Bromo, we took a photograph like Agus in the past with me. Our train will be stopping at. So when you travel, each station, each airport, each bus stop, and so on, you use the preposition at. So here, our train will be stopping at Jombang and then on the way to Malang, not in. In the way is when you're blocking my passage or you're playing squash and somebody jumps in front of you. You're in the way. I can't, move. That is different. So here, our train will be stopping at Jombang on the way to Malang. Okay. Number 6, you can find our new teacher on the library or the cinema this afternoon. 2 possibilities. Places of education and of entertainment. Jadi tempat pendidikan dan hiburan, like the library, the cinema, a college, a university, always at. So, simple rule, places of education and entertainment. You can have fun. Use at. So here you can find our new teacher at the library or at the cinema this afternoon. Please tell the science teachers that they should be more meticulous, teliti atau telaten, ya, with their comments. No, you're not meticulous with, but in, kalau di dalam, or about, dealing with their comments about the students' progress. Okay. Number 8, Joe was really surprised on seeing his old classmate after 20 years. Kaget ya, bertemu lagi dengan teman sekelas, teman sebangku mungkin setelah 20 tahun. Here, surprised always at. Surprised, amazed at, shocked at seeing something. So here, fixed combination. You cannot switch to on or in or by. My colleague, Miss Sana, is writing a paper concerning the problem in teaching mathematics toward unmotivated and uninterested students who prefer playing games in their cell phones. Lots of mistakes here, lots of red here, banyak merah. Kalau kata teman saya di Unpad dulu, banyak lipstiknya, banyak pemerah bibir. So here, my colleague Miss Sana is writing a paper either on or about concerning, it's okay, but not concerned. Concern is khawatir, yeah? I'm concerned about your future. That is different. So here, a paper on, Americans use on more and more, about or concerning than the problem of teaching mathematics to students. And they prefer playing games, lebih suka main games on their cell phones, not in the games, or not inside, although maybe technically they are, but on their cell phones. Okay. The last one, number 10. Please check the deadline about this term's research paper, as it must be submitted at time. This should be the deadline for, because you have to meet it for this paper, and it must be submitted, handed in on time. Tepat waktu and maybe you hand it in just in time, just before the deadline. Okay, so these are very common prepositions. Always check the prepositions in your paper. Maybe Google them. There's a new site, I'm sure Agus knows, called Quillbot. 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 They rephrase sentences. Usually they pick up, prepositions as well. So you can always check this on the internet. After prepositions referring to a state, what you call keadaan or activity, kegiatan, the gerund or ing form is used. As we just saw, he was amazed or surprised at seeing his friend. So here, I really look forward to interviewing, to that activity. Jadi ada kegiatan itu pakai gerund. Sebenarnya kata benda. Makanya saya tidak suka V plus ing in Indonesian school books. It's misleading. So here, I really look forward to interviewing the new candidates from Madagascar and Burundi. So African students, thank you for sending me such a lovely souvenir. Souvenir is ole-ole. Yeah? So thank you for doing that. Okay, down. Thank you. I'm grateful for having been informed. That's also possible, yeah? So somebody has informed me, and I'm grateful for having been informed. That's a kind of bahasa Inggris yang maju ini high-level English, but it's possible. So for having been informed of the timetable changes before I left home this morning. I cannot thank you enough for being such a great supporter during the pandemic. So being is also possible, a state. Tell your friend, there's a practice here, about 3 activities you used to enjoy dulu. Anda punya hobi seperti itu but no longer have time for. Now you're a student, tidak ada waktu lagi untuk hobi tersebut. So, mention 3 activities and use the ing form or gerund to indicate the activities. Example, when I was a schoolboy, or if you're a mahasiswi, a schoolgirl, playing table tennis was my passion. In English, you cannot say table tennising. In Dutch, that's possible. Bahasa Belanda lebih fleksibel, boleh bisa table tennising. But in English, you have to split it into playing table tennis. But now I only have time for watching it on the television. Okay, so make 3 examples, and then we'll look at some more information about the gerund. So students, tell me about your past hobbies yang dari masa kecilmu, kalian, and maybe now you no longer have time for it. Sekarang tidak ada waktu lagi untuk hobi itu. Jadi misalnya waktu kecil suka naik kuda, tapi sekarang tidak ada waktu lagi. Mungkin hanya nge-gym, go to the gym for exercise. So give me an example. Anybody? Ada yang ingat jadi hobi dari masa kecil, but now there's no more time for this. Look at the example, When I was a schoolboy or girl, playing table tennis was my passion, but now I only have time for watching it on the telly. So from an active admirer of ping pong, you become a passive one. Miss Septica, can you think of an example?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat it?
Ya, so ada hobi yang mungkin Anda senang waktu masih kecil, tapi sekarang tidak ada waktu lagi. Jadi seperti contohnya, when I was a schoolboy, playing table tennis was my passion. Jadi the activity, kegiatannya. But now I only have time for doing something else, watching it on TV. Can you think of a hobby you had as a child, but now you don't have time for it? Like my daughter used to join ballet classes and dancing, but now she has no more time for it. Okay, can you think of an example?
When I was elementary school, I really liked drawing, but because I have no time, I cannot driving anymore because I should teaching every day.
You should be teaching, yeah, rather than jogging. Yeah. Okay. So when you were in high school, you had enough time for jogging, but now it's impossible because you spend all your time teaching. Very good. So how do you keep fit, Miss Septika?
Yes, sir.
How do you keep?
I cannot hear your voice. It's so noisy. Can you repeat it?
How do you keep fit now if you don't play? If you don't jog anymore?
Yes. No. Yeah. Drawing.
No alternative.
Drawing, drawing. Yeah. Yes. I cannot drawing anymore because I think my skill just lost.
Oh, drawing. Sorry, I heard jogging. Drawing. Okay.
Drawing.
I was thinking of sports, so I thought jogging. Drawing. And yeah, that's also a hobby. Very good. What did you draw? Like fantasy drawings or cartoons or kind of drawing? Artistic drawings?
In my past, I really like to drawing like face, girl face, but
Okay.
now I cannot drawing anymore.
Okay. You like drawing faces. Okay. But not anymore. Like caricatures or realistic pictures?
I think because I just elementary school, it's just kids, it's like abstract.
Okay. But you made abstract drawings. Interesting. Okay, thank you. One more example.
In my past, I really like to playing football with my friends.
I like to play.
Yeah, I play football because I'm like boys girl.
Just
I'm
keep
not
the
feminine at all.
inform. Sorry, I liked playing volleyball, but now,
But now I cannot do that because I should go to work.
yep. Okay, you become a serious person. Very good. Another student.
And the last one is
So,
in
if
my
somebody else,
past.
delegate to somebody else. Mahasiswa lain.
Okay, take it out.
Yeah, thank you. We've had two good examples from you. Now it's time for somebody else. Ada mahasiswi lain?
Okay, please, others. Naila?
Yeah.
Naila, maybe?
Naila? Yeah, I see a lot of names. Yeah, so two good examples from Miss Septika. And number three, somebody else.
Okay, others. Santi, maybe, or Naila, come on.
Yeah, you have a better view of the student. Thank you. Yeah, so a hobby you enjoyed in the past, you enjoyed doing, but now there's no more time.
Okay, please, others. Naila, maybe.
Anybody?
Salwa, come on. Can you give an example?
Thank you.
No, miss. Okay. Iris, Eva, come on. Hilang. Don't be shy. I think Salwa wants to try it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try. Salwa.
Yeah, don't be nervous. It's just an example. Doesn't matter if it's slightly wrong. Just give an example. Harus berani ya.
Yeah. Salwa, can you? Or Sandy? Or for semester 1 maybe, release.
Yeah, practice for the younger students, the juniors. Zakia, I see. Zakia Rima.
Yeah, Zakia, come on, Zakia. Can you give an example?
So something you used to enjoy doing, but now there's no more time. Simple pattern. Ini pola yang tidak terlalu berat ya. So you look back to your childhood or your school days, and you think of a hobby you used to enjoy doing, but no longer. Tidak lagi. Okay?
Okay, Salwa, come on, Salwa. It's your friend waiting you.
Yeah. While waiting. Cheers, Pak Agus. coffee time in the afternoon. Professor Agus and I like coffee. We both coffee lovers.
Coffee lovers.
Yeah, more than like, we love coffee.
Ya. Yang punya hobi crying. Mana nih yang dulu crying dulu hobinya?
Kawan.
Maybe not a hobby. If you every day you cry.
Masih suka. Iya,
Without
kawan.
crying.
Ya, kawan.
Yeah, just relax. It's just an example. Mungkin ada mahasiswa yang sedikit tertekan ya. It's just experimenting with language, playing with language. It doesn't matter. I won't report to the Minister of Education if you make a mistake. Saya tidak kirim laporan ke Menteri Pendidikan ya kalau keliru, tidak apa-apa. We're just practicing. Or your rector.
Salsa, maybe?
Yes.
Salsa? Okay, Siahun? Can you hear me? Nawa? Ya, sepertinya malu-malu sir ini. Come on, Nawa?
Yeah.
Hear me?
Saya susah.
If you find it difficult, look at the example. When I was a schoolboy or girl, playing table tennis was my passion, doing that. But now I only have time for watching it on the TV, on the telly. So, passive admirer of table tennis, ping pong, yeah? Any other examples? Something you used to enjoy doing, but not anymore. Very simple. Maybe your hobby was music or singing or joining a race, cycling, running, anything. Miss Salva?
Yeah, Sawa, come on, let's try. Sawa? It's okay. If you have mistake, it's okay.
Just one example, just one sentence. Like Prof. Agus said, if your hobby was crying, you always cry like a crybaby, but now you enjoy smiling. Maybe, we don't know about Miss Salva's past.
Yeah.
When she was always crying, and now she's smiling. So I used to enjoy this, but now I'm doing that. So which one? She's disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here. Sawa. And other maybe? Nawa maybe? Riris, can you hear me, Riris? Atau Esa? Kita harus join ya, Esa. Okay.
Well, we've got a few more exercises to do, so we really need to fill in this example. Yeah. Zakia, tadi saya lihat nama Zakia.
Yeah, Zakia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, could you do a sentence?
Right.
Historian, and I'm new, but I can try. I'm not sure.
It's okay. Your activity in the past, apa yang dulu pernah dilakukan dan sekarang mungkin tidak
Yes.
dilakukan lagi.
Yeah.
Bisa.
That's it. Well said.
When I was senior high school, playing volleyball was my passion.
Okay.
But now I only just saving time for
activity.
Okay, very good, excellent. So when you were at high school, your hobby was playing volleyball, but now you only have time for running.
Yeah.
Very good, excellent. That's it. Very simple. Okay, there's a little bit of theory about the gerund. If you find this a difficult term, use ing form. There's a summary. Words that look like verbs but are used as nouns. Jadi sebenarnya itu kata benda ya, referring to a state, as we said before, keadaan or activity, kegiatan. Example. When you refer to a state, keadaan, in your case, you're all Javanese, you can begin with being Javanese, meaning because he's Javanese. My Tubanese neighbor did not finish all of the food on his plate. This is polite, yeah. I learned this in when I was in Tuban. People don't always finish their drink or their food out of politeness. It's macam sopan santun, yeah. If you finish everything, it means you're greedy, you're rakus, yeah. So you leave a little bit behind in your glass or on your plate. So being Javanese, because he was a polite Javanese person, my Tubanese neighbor did not finish all of the food on his plate. You leave a little bit behind, meaning I'm not starving, I'm not a greedy person. I recommend doing something. What do I recommend? Going on vacation at least once a year, maybe not during the pandemic, but traveling in April is a good idea, and so on. So activities. You can replace these activities with a pronoun. If you don't know what a pronoun is, kata pengganti. I can highly recommend it. It is a good idea. So the gerund or ing form is really a noun because you can replace it with a pronoun. Jadi bukan v-ing, ya, not a verb. That is, don't disturb me while I'm eating. Jangan mengganggu saya kalau saya lagi makan, ya, makan malam misalnya. Explanation. Going and traveling are nouns, even though they look like verbs. Mirip kata-kata, tapi bukan kata-kata. They're nouns that can be used in different positions in the sentence. Subjects, direct objects. I like traveling, for instance. Indirect objects. I look forward to traveling to Tuban, for instance, or Bojonegoro. And objects of prepositions. I look forward to traveling. Okay. The form, it looks like a verb because it's made of the base form of the verb followed by ing. So in that sense, it's v plus ing. More examples. Dancing is one of her favorite hobbies. He enjoys biking more than running. Yeah. Biking should also be in Tetak Kebala. The team is invested in winning the tournament. Be careful because the ing form is also used with the continuous verb tenses. Like I said, don't ring me on the phone while I'm swimming, for instance. So here, the difference is that the gerund can always be replaced with the pronoun it. I like playing guitar, I like it, to indicate a state or activity. Whereas, sedangkan, the continuous can be replaced with doing. Yeah, I was swimming yesterday, I was doing that. Okay? Swimming at Karangsetra is quite a challenge as the pool is unheated, for instance. It's quite a challenge. As a verb, don't expect me to answer the phone while I'm swimming. Sedang berenang. Okay? So that means please don't expect me to answer the phone while I'm doing that. Okay, a little quiz. Answer immediately. Langsung ya jawabannya. Jangan nunggu-nunggu sampai saya ngopi 2 cangkir ini. Which activity do you prefer? Yang Anda lebih suka ya? Running to jogging. Tadi Mbak Sakia suka running ya? Do you prefer running to jogging? Jogging is more slowly. Which one do you prefer?
Shocking.
Maaf, suaranya hilang. Jogging. Jogging is a bit slower, more relaxed, yeah. But if you really want to get fit, maybe running is better. If you want to lose weight or you want to get ready for a race or something, running will give you more results or better results. Any musical people among you who prefer singing to dancing?
I choose dancing.
Yeah, why is that?
I choose dancing.
Yeah, why? Give me the reason.
Does Avril enjoy if I dancing? If I'm dancing?
Oh, you're better at dancing.
So I'm really not best dancing, but I just like it.
Okay, very good. Telling jokes to laughing, so actively or passively. Are you a stand-up comedian? You like telling jokes, sharing funny stories, anecdotes, or do you just enjoy listening to them and laughing? So are you the joker or the recipient of joke? You receive them. Which one?
Laughing.
Laughing. You don't tell jokes yourself. In a, at the party or in a crowd, you don't tell funny stories, but you do laugh at them. Okay. Playing cards to playing pinball. Maybe an English example. Main kartu atau main pinball atau billiards. You can use other examples. Who likes playing cards among you? Ada yang main kartu di kampus? Dilarang di Sulawesi.
But I think I prefer to playing cards.
Okay, I prefer playing cards. What to? Yeah, I prefer playing cards to playing pinball. It's not so popular in Indonesia. More active sport, athletic sport, swimming to surfing. Yeah, surfing is very difficult. Not everybody can do it. You have to have a great sense of balance. Yeah, kalau keseimbangannya nggak beres, yeah, here's the photo. Very good. If you see these people, they have to stand on a surfing board, and it's difficult to keep your balance, especially if you're chased by a wave. Yeah, it can be risky. So most people prefer swimming to surfing. Yeah, I don't know. Reading to watching movies. Any ideas?
All of them.
Reading.
Reading.
Watching.
But
I'm so confused, but it's really fun.
sorry, what's relevant?
Watching.
Yeah, reading to watching movies. For reading, you can use your imagination, but when you watch movies, you have to accept the story as it's on the screen. Yeah? So some people prefer reading to watching movies because you can use your own imagination, your version, make your own version of the story. And movies, maybe later on, after you watch it, you can make different scenarios. Cycling to riding a motorbike. So cycling on a bike, like Peter, bahasa Jawa, or a motorbike. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you like better?
Motorbike.
On a motorbike, it's quicker, but there's a lot of pollution from motorbikes. Yeah, I'm a cyclist. I like cycling a lot. Okay, we have Miss Febriana. Aha, the last one: eating dessert to eating vegetables. I know the answer because Javanese don't eat many vegetables. Dessert is pencuci mulut ya, pudding, ice cream, fruit. Which one do you prefer, Miss Febriana?
Dessert.
Dessert.
Honestly, I prefer eating
Dessert. Yeah. What kind of dessert? Are you a good cook?
ice cream.
Oh, ice cream. You make it yourself? No, you just
No,
buy
it's
it.
not.
Try to make it. It's interesting. Yeah, it's cheap in Indonesia, but you can try it yourself. Okay, so we see the people surfing. These people all prefer surfing to swimming, but here's the other way around. Okay, thank you. Please scroll down. Any questions so far? Ada pertanyaan? Ada yang kurang jelas mungkin? Silahkan. Fire away.
Yang Septika, Kemal?
Yes, Miss Septina.
Okay, thank you
Tika,
for
sorry.
the opportunity. Before, I'm so sorry because I should ask questions like this. To be honest, I really like to write and editing because I was an editor. But in English, I think my grammatical is really bad. And lately, I just find some website who can check our grammatical.
Yes.
Is that okay if we use checks our grammatical? Thank you.
There are lots of sites. The one I use is Quillbot. It's very good. They also give different vocabulary, different styles, and so on. Quillbot, Quellbot. That's a very good one. But Word documents are always spell checked and grammar checked, so you can use that. But they don't catch if the word exists but it's actually in the wrong place or the wrong form, it will slip through. Jadi ada yang lewat itu ya, tidak akurat 100% maksud saya. You can use those actually internet, but they're not 100% waterproof. Sometimes mistakes are still there. You can still find them. Sometimes they ask you, do you mean this or do you mean that? An example is when Obama became president of the United States, Obama is not an American name. So every spell checker would say, do you mean Obami or something like O apostrophe, like an Irish name, yeah, like O'Reilly and so on. And then of course you spend a lot of time correcting the corrector, getting it right. So it can help. Sure, you can use it, but it doesn't cover everything. You still have to check yourself. That's why I'm doing it. Now, you say you find grammar difficult. Try to apply the grammatical rules or theory to examples. That's why I always give examples. Saya seorang linguist ya, ahli bahasa, tapi saya rasa efektif kalau tidak ada konteks, tidak ada contoh dari praktek sehari-hari. So always try to apply rules to practice. That's really a must, number one. Know the rules. It's just knowledge, is a fact, but you have to apply them. Now, for this purpose, thank you for the lead in here. In session 2, we examined the testing points for part 1, sentence completion. Jadi masih ingat ya, minggu yang lalu ada yang hilang dari kalimat ya, sepertinya di tip X as a blank, and you have to decide which word fits A, B, C, or D. Now, part 2 is more difficult because you have to. So in every sentence, part that once more, one day, satu kesalahan. You will not need to memorize, tidak usah dihafalin ya, the linguistic terms below. Just focus on how to apply them, menerapkan in practice. Okay, let's take a look. Part 2, error identification, and this usually has 25 questions, and there are 15 testing points. So some will appear twice or 3 times, 4 times. Number 1 is word form. Bentuk kata is a word, an adverb, and 2 category is verbs, kata kerja. Number 3, kata pengganti, we just saw that. I like swimming, I like it. So words that replace other words. Number 4, parallel construction. I look forward to meeting and interviewing you. So the same form repeated, parallel construction. Number 5 is singular as opposed to plural nouns, kata benda tunggal dan jamak. Then we have mistaken words. You say, I want to have a career as an engineer, for instance, but you write carrier. Carrier could be an aeroplane or somebody who carries your luggage. You use the wrong spelling, the wrong word, yeah? So mistaken words, use the wrong form. Unnecessary word, when you say, in addition, I also want, also tidak perlu karena sudah ada in addition, yeah? It's not necessary, it's redundant, we say in formal English. The opposite, omitted word, ada yang hilang, ada yang tidak dipakai tapi seharusnya dipakai. I want to tell you a funny story instead of I want to tell you a funny story. Something is missing, omitted word, ya, yang dihilangkan. Number 9, we looked at the beginning, prepositions, very important. They always appear 2 or 3 or 4 times, always part of the test. Kata depan, ya, often wrong. Reversed words, yang terbalik. I want to know everything about education higher. Pendidikan tinggi, no, higher education, terbalik, ya. So reversed words. Conjunction, kata penghubung, like neither my brother nor I like playing cards, for instance. So words that connectors, conjunctions. Infinitive, verb 1 versus gerund, or the ing form. So I like to play volleyball, or I like playing volleyball, same meaning. Comparative, when you compare two things, bigger than, smaller than, more interesting than, and so on. And perbandingan, yeah. Articles we looked at in the first time, I think, first session, the, or no article, how do you use articles. And finally, the superlative yang paling yang ter, who is the prettiest lady in Bojonegoro. I don't know, but here, prettiest would be yang paling cantik or yang paling cerdas, and so on. So, superlative. These are 15 forms that are always tested. Selalu diuji, pasti ada di testing. So you know what to expect. The right answer for this kind of test is the identified error. Jadi jawaban yang benar adalah yang mana yang salah. Ya. And the correct form is shown in square brackets to train yourself as a prospective proofreader or editor. So you also get the correct form, the yang benar. Ya. In the real test, you only need to identify the errors. Okay, examples for B1, a word form. Look at the example. The theme here for the whole exercise, for the context, is graphology. Graphology is the analysis of handwriting, analisa tulisan tangan. Very popular in Indonesia. At Unpar, at Parahyangan University, we had a psychologist, Professor John Nimpuno, who analyzed every person's handwriting, students, lecturers, educational staff. Jadi semua anggota staff di Universitas Parahyangan itu dianalisa sama ahli psikologi, ya, graphology. So here the text is about this. Word form, the person's handwriting, the so-called script, tapi bukan skripsi, ya, and it's placing on the page expression the unique impulses of the individual. So rather formal sentence, the person's handwriting, the so-called script, now when you connect this, so A, that so translating to the height and placing express unique impulses of the individual. I express my interest in teaching in East Java, not I expression, tidak bisa. But you could say the facial expression on Miss Febriana's face on camera is interested. She looks interested in the material. But here you need a verb. So the correct form is to express and the error is C. Tadi saya hilangkan ABCD karena kemana-mana ada masalah layout, ya. Jadi yang ketiga, expression C should be express. Because we have a double subject, plural, a person's handwriting and its placing on the page, posisinya. So expression should be express. Okay, thank you. Next example. So this was word form, ya, bentuk kata, morphology. Number 2, B2 is the second part. Yeah. If the handwriting is generally upright, tegak, yeah, so standing up straight, this indications, up. Yeah, this indications independence. So if people don't lean to the left or to the right, but it goes straight up, it means you're an independent-minded person. Mandiri, yeah. And here, of course, this indicates, ya, menunjukkan kemandirian. So here, C indicates mandi sendiri dan semuanya. Okay. B3 is no single handwriting feature proves anything specific or absolute by herself, as it can only identify a trend. Okay. Which one is wrong? Herself. No woman is mentioned. No girl is mentioned in the sentence. There's no feminine presence. So a handwriting feature doesn't prove anything by itself. Okay. Now the first three I've given you the answer. Now it's time for you to identify. Jadi yang B1, B2, B3 ada jawabannya, just to guide you. But now it's time for your answer. B4, the science labeled as pseudoscience by Wikipedia, so pretending to be scientific but is not, is still being researched, sedang diteliti, and expansion today. before is parallel construction. So you use one form and you use it again. Jadi satu bentuk diulangi ya, digunakan lagi. So no single handwriting feature proves anything specific or absolute. The science labeled as pseudoscience, so not real science, fake science, you can say, is still being researched and expansion today. What's wrong? What's the error? Can you identify? Maybe another student we haven't heard yet. Ada yang belum ambil kesempatannya hari ini. Yeah?
Yeah, come on, guys. Please try. For
I think research. It's not researched, but it's research. I mean,
Ya, ini sedang diteliti ya, jadi verb 3 is okay. But you're close because when you say it's still being researched, sedang diteliti, dan diperluas, harus sama. So it's still being researched and use the same form. Dengan bentuk yang
expansionate.
yeah, not that long, make it shorter. Kata kerjanya apa? Expand ya. So add ed, verb 3, expanded. Yeah, so it's still being researched and expanded today. People add new elements to it. Okay. Oh yes, okay. Somebody's going home. It's okay. We'll see you later. Then B5, the middle zone in the script. So the M and N letters, middle zone. Represents the ego from which we obtain a lot of information as to how the writer feels and acts in public settings. So if you look at the shape of your M and N and E, the middle zones are not going up like L or going down like G, but the middle zone, that gives you information. Now look at the forms. Represents, that's okay, because the middle zone is it represents. The ego from which, that's fine. Public settings, di depan umum ya, how you act in public settings. So A, C, and D are okay, but B, look at a lot of information. Is that correct?
No, because it has a, you cannot use S after a lot.
Very good. That's a very good analysis. So a lot of information. Or if you want to drop you can say lots of information. I have lots of information for you, many different kinds of information. So here, a lot of information, no S. Yeah, very good. B6, a left slant tendency. Jadi kalau miring ke kiri, tulisan tangannya, shows emotion and reserve. Jadi orang yang emosional tapi juga sedikit tertutup ya. This writer can be resentful if others try to push for more commitment. Jadi kalau disuruh lebih terlibat ya, dia akan marah atau emosi, dia akan membalas dendam mungkin ya. So when you're writing slants to the left, sedikit ke kiri, this means certain things. A left slant tendency shows emotion and reserve. This writer can be resentful if others try to push, mendorong ya, for more commitment. So people expect you to do more in kalau kerja kelompok misalnya ya, ayo kamu harus lebih aktif, tapi dia akan membalas dendam, itu resikonya. Itu kalau tulisan tangan ke kiri, ngiri. Which one is wrong here? Who can find the mistake? Who can?
Cannot.
Yes.
It should, could.
Yeah, could be. The past tense of can is not can. When you have pineapple, the first time I had pineapple in Indonesia, I was surprised. It was a big fruit. But in Holland and in the West, we eat it from canned. It's canned. It's tinned, what we call tinned, yeah, di kamu. So very good. Can doesn't exist. The past tense of can is could. Then B7, a bit further down, handwriting analysis is therefore an extremely useful, handy tool to be used for identifying the quality of an individual's talents and potential. Jadi bakat dan potensialnya. You can predict how somebody is going to function in a certain job. So it's very useful. A lot of companies use graphologists to analyze newcomers, new people who apply for a job. So here, one word is redundant. You don't need it. You can throw it away. You can discard it. Ada satu kata yang bisa dapat dibuang, ya, tidak perlu. Yang mana? Which word is not necessary?
I think it's therefore.
No, because you give a reason. So you draw a conclusion, ambil kesimpulan. Therefore, oleh karena itu mungkin ya bahasa Indonesianya. That's okay. Keep it. Don't throw it away. Jangan dibuang dulu. Therefore is fine.
Oh, it's handy. I mean,
Yes, because handy is useful and useful is handy. You don't have to say twice. You don't say, you look pretty and beautiful today. Same thing.
Identify.
Yeah,
Nothing.
very good. So handy is the good one because you already said useful. When something comes in handy, it's useful. If it's not useful, it cannot be handy. And so, logic. Yeah? Then number B8, 3 zones of 3 millimeters give a precise benchmark for a non-remarkable height 9 millimeters. More than this is large, while less is small. So you give the size of the handwriting, ukurannya. Which one is wrong? Something missing, yeah? There's a missing word. Omitted word, we call this B8. If you go to the list, you can find omitted word, kata yang hilang. Kata apa yang hilang kira-kira? Jadi ada satu bagian yang tidak lengkap dengan kata lain. Kurang lengkap. 3 zones of 3 millimeters give precise benchmark for a non-remarkable height 9 millimeters. More than this is large, while less is small. What is missing? Only one word. I'll give you a clue. Only 2 letters. 2 huruf. Who's the lady in pink at the bottom? Ada yang pakai pakaian pink yang merah muda, siapa? Di bawah Miss Febriana.
Ya, Mbak Gilang. Emon Mbak Gilang.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see the name.
Ya. Mbak Gilang kayaknya.
Oh yeah, yeah. Miss Riza.
Ya.
Yeah. One word is missing. Only 2 letters. 2 huruf. I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a hint.
Nawa, Iin. Riris maybe
Iin,
yang
yes.
nampaknya. Diner, Luciana, come on. Try which one is the
Yeah. Mistake. Which was the error?
Please, others? Iin? Mbak Gilang maybe.
So you're skipping a word, yeah? I cannot say my brother 2 meters, but my brother is 2 meters tall. Yeah, it's complete. So here, tingginya berapa milimeter ini? Jadi ini ukuran tulisan tangan ya. What do you call large handwriting? What is medium? What is small? Well, they actually measure it in millimeters. So if it's very small, usually a secretive person ya, orang yang banyak rahasia. Kalau tulisan tangan di bawah 3 mm misalnya. Many scientists have very small handwriting ya, yang eksakta biasanya tulisannya kecil banget. So maybe they want to keep it secret. Doctors, medical doctors often have small handwriting. They keep their notes secret. So which one is missing? Two letters. Look at the beginning. 3 zones of 3 millimeters. Dari ya, ada of genitive. Nah ini juga B, yeah, the second one, height 9 millimeters, incomplete. Height of 9 millimeters, yeah. You cannot say height tingginya 9 millimeter. Tidak bisa. So, height of 9 millimeters. Okay, difficult one, yeah. I said 2 letters, so off, yeah, OF. Down, please, B9. Large sight handwriting can reveal an extroverted nature. Jadi orang yang bersifat ekstrovert, ya, sangat terbuka, spontan, lucu-lucu. Or it can mean that the writer puts on an act of exaggerated self-confidence. PD-nya terlalu tinggi, ya, terlalu besar. So this might not be exhibited up strangers. Kalau sama orang luar yang belum dikenal, tidak begitu menonjol, ya, tidak begitu kelihatan. So large size handwriting, kalau ukurannya besar, ya, tulisan tangan, can reveal an extroverted nature. Jadi semakin besar semakin extrovert. Or it can mean that the writer puts on an act, interacting, ya, of exaggerated self-confidence. PD-nya lebay di bahasa Indonesia. Though this might not be exhibited up strangers. One mistake. Which one sounds strange when you read it? Or looks strange? Yang mana yang aneh dengarannya? When you read it aloud, which one sounds strange? Anyone? Oh, it's Ardiana, yeah. Now I can see.
Yeah, Naila maybe. Yeah.
So
Naila.
nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. There must be a mistake. There's always something wrong. Otherwise, it would not be called error identification. When you say nothing wrong, you're taking the day off. Ini libur. There must be one is wrong. One is always wrong. If everything is right, I've made a mistake. Ini salah saya kalau semuanya. Nah, ini error identification, ini identifikasi kesalahan. So which one is wrong? There must. Which one is? Yeah. Which one is? Again, a short word, only 2 letters. Matter of counting.
How about up?
Hitung saja. Yes, because you exhibit something to somebody else, never up. So it can reveal, it can show, fine, exaggerated, lebay. It might be, well, it might not be, kemungkinan kecil. And you exhibit something to strangers. Very good. Okay, B10. A bit down, please. Ke bawah sedikit, ya, scroll down. B10, heavy pressure. Yeah, heavy pressure indicates things taking seriously. But if the pressure is excessively heavy, sangat berat, ya, kayak mau masuk ke kertasnya, as in the dictator Adolf Hitler's handwriting, that writer may respond hysterically to even the slightest criticism. Jadi kalau orang yang dikritik, secara minim, ya, hanya sedikit inputnya, dia sudah meledak, ya, kebakaran kumis dalam kasus Hitler ini. Heavy pressure indicates things taking seriously, but if the pressure is excessively heavy, as in the dictator Adolf Hitler's handwriting, that writer may respond hysterically, secara histeris, to even the slightest criticism. Jadi dikritik sedikit-sedikit aja sudah meledak orangnya. What's wrong? And the B10, you know from the list, is reversed words, the wrong word order. Terbalik, ya, ada yang terbalik. Yang mana yang terbalik? Concentrate on the underlined words. Jadi fokusnya ke bagian yang telah digarisbawahi. Yang mana?
Taking things seriously.
Yes, very good. I don't want you to take me too seriously. If people are relaxing, is making fun of each other, I don't take it too seriously. Yeah, no, things taking seriously. Terbalik. So, taking things seriously. Yeah, and in this case, too seriously. Very good. B11. toe upper strokes are reaching towards either goals, either ambitions, two choices. But if they're quite extended, there may be unrealistic expectations of future achievements. Here we're talking about kata penghubung or conjunctions. Which one is the wrong link between words? So toe upper strokes, kalau misalnya huruf L atau H itu sangat tinggi ya, sampai ke atas kertas itu toe upper strokes are reaching towards either goals, either ambitions. Jadi orang yang sangat berambisi, huruf H dan L itu sampai ke plafon, itu tinggi sekali. Biasanya Presiden Indonesia itu tinggi, L-nya, H-nya, idealistis, sangat menarik ya. Coba cek tanda tangan rektor Universitas Unugiri. Coba lihat dari dokumen itu pasti tinggi. L, H, those letters going up ya, pasti tinggi. So, which one is wrong? Conjunction. Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, because when you have a choice, for instance, there are two drinks here in Bandung. We have itu minuman jahe ya, bandrek dan bajigur. Kedua-duanya itu minuman jahe. Kayak di Jawa mungkin STMJ. Maybe in a restaurant, there's only two drinks. Either you drink bandrek or you drink bajigur. Jadi daftar minum agak terbatas, yang hanya dua pilihan. So either or, but never either. Tidak ada dalam bahasa Inggris. So either goals or ambitions. So the second either is wrong. Should be or. Yeah. Very good. Almost finished. B12. By examining a handwriting sample, an expert graphologist is able to identify relevant features of the handwritten script and weigh these features interacts. Which one is wrong? You learn by doing. You learn by applying things to practice, not just looking at the theory. Expert means ahli. That's okay. Jadi ahli tulisan tangan. Relevant, same in Indonesian, you just relevant. And the way these features interact is fine. They influence each other, ya, saling mempengaruhi. That's okay. But look at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah.
Pakai EC.
Yeah. By doing that, so use the gerund we looked at earlier. You learn something by doing it. If you tell me how to cook a typical dish from Bojonegoro, ya, ada mungkin resep dari Bojonegoro, resep masak. I learn it by doing it, by cooking it. So here, by
examining.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. By examining, by doing that, a handwriting sample, an expert graphologist is able to identify things. Yeah, very good. How do you do it? By examining. Okay, very good. B13. So 3 more to go. Up a little bit. Yeah. Graphology continues to be used, respected, and appreciated by many people because it simply achieves a higher level of results than other behavioral or intuitive models of analysis. Which one is wrong? It continues to be used, it's still used. It's not a thing of the past, it's not like an old-fashioned science, but it continues to be used. And it's respected. People show respect for it, think it's useful, and appreciate it. That's okay by many because it simply achieves a higher level of results than other behavioral or intuitive models of analysis. So you get more results out of it. You get more value for money. If you pay for a test, it's really useful. Jadi mungkin tesnya tidak murah ya. Graphological report is expensive, but it's useful. So a higher level of results compared to daripada, itu benar, then how do you spell daripada in English? How do you pronounce it?
Then
With A.
Yeah, with an A, very good. So THAN, THAN, karena daripada bukan kemudian. And then my friend came in with coffee. That's different. Yeah. So always check every letter of your article, even if it's only one letter. It can be fatal. Fatal ini kalau ini keliru dikirim, send back to Bojonegoro. So then, okay, two more. B14, logically speaking, secara logis, small size can reveal an introverted character. Jadi orang yang berkepribadian tertutup itu pasti tulisannya kecil. Small size. Also
thinker and
academic. Jadi pemikir ya, intelektual, orang cerdas, and an academic. I think Professor Habibie has small handwriting, almarhum ya. One of your presidents, our presidents, I should say. So, which one is wrong? Logically speaking, we saw that the adverb can be a comment, yeah? You remember, generally speaking, regrettably, and so on. A comment, fine, no problem. Logically speaking, secara logis. Introverted as opposed to extroverted, fine. An academic is fine. An academic person, like your lecturers, are all academics. Professor Agus is an academic from East Java, and so on. So, one is left. Look at the spelling.
thinker.
Yeah, why?
A thinker.
Very good, because you're not talking about an orange or an apple. There's no vowel, tidak ada vokal. So, a thinker. It can indicate a thinker. Yes, very good. Last one, B15. Thank you. Handwriting is made up of 3 zones or cases: middle, upper, and lower. Jadi ada di tengah, di atas, di bawah. And the basic average measure by which size can be judged amounts to 3 millimeters per zone at mostest. Who can correct the last one? The last word, last 2 words, underline.
Mostest.
Yeah. Make it shorter. Cut it a little bit. Kayak tukang rambut ya, dipotong sedikit. What's the correct form? Not at mostest. Lebih pendek sedikit. Jadi benar ya, D is wrong, the last one. At mostest, make it shorter. So you're applying for a job and you say, your employer says, what salary do you expect? We can offer you 10 million maksimal. Batas atas ya, batas tingginya. Just cut it, dipotong, hilangkan 3 huruf. What do you think?
At most.
At most. Perfect. That was the last one. Very good. So these are examples of testing points. Next week we'll do a real test. I can send it beforehand, so you have more time to concentrate on it. Jadi nanti saya kirim tes untuk minggu depan ya sebagai PR. Terus kita bahasnya. Yang kedua kita mulai menulis makalah ilmiah ya. We are going to write the beginning, the introduction of a real article. So just to get some practice, how do you make a title, judul yang cocok? How do you write an abstract of the article? So 2 things for next week. We're going to practice with a simulation test, like a structure test to make you a good proofreader, good editor. And we're going to begin writing an article on a certain topic. Okay? I think we've done enough for today. Any questions? Any things you did not understand? Ada yang kurang dimengerti atau kurang masuk akal? Saya jelaskan lagi dengan senang hati. Tidak ada masalah.
Sarah wanna ask.
Yeah.
How did you know that this soal ini tuh pakainya itu yang menghilangkan hurufnya, yang lainnya itu yang ada yang kurang katanya, itu gimana cara taunya gitu?
Kalau ada yang hilang itu artinya tanpa kata itu kalimatnya jadi ungrammatical ya, tidak sesuai dengan tata bahasa. So when you say, for instance, Universitas Ronggolawe, and you say in English, you translate as University Ronggolawe, something is missing. In English, you have to say, my brother studied at the University of Cambridge. I was at the University of Exeter, University of Amsterdam. Jadi kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia 2 kata, tapi bahasa Inggris 3. University of, and then you get the name, University of Parahyangan. Or you turn it around, then you can say Parahyangan University. But one word is missing in that case. You cannot say President United States, but the President of United States. Jadi ada yang hilang. Jadi tanpa kata itu kalimatnya atau frase jadi tidak sesuai dengan tata bahasa yang baik dan benar. Okay? And I got these examples. I studied all the TOEFL books on the market. So there's Barron's and Cliff's and what have you. Many different publishers offer TOEFL books, Longmans and so on. Saya bikin studi banding dan semua tes memakai pola ini. Jadi ada 15 testing points. Nah itu selalu muncul. Itu karena di Amerika ada orang peserta tes yang tidak lulus sampai 20 kali tes. Dan dia menggugat ETS, English Testing Services in America. Dia bilang, mana mungkin saya gagal terus. Saya ingin tahu cara menilainya. Dan di Amerika ada memang undang-undang yang melindungi konsumen ya. Dia sebagai peserta itu juga semacam konsumen. Dan mereka membuka rahasia dapur ya istilahnya. Mereka kasih tahu, oh ya ini poin, ini 15 poin untuk bagian 1, 15 poin untuk bagian 2. Dan sekarang semua orang tahu, oh ya ini yang diharapkan dari testing service. Jadi selalu sama. Kalau sudah mengerti ini pasti lulus tes TOEFL, IELTS yang serupanya. Karena sebenarnya pada hakikatnya selalu sama. So in principle they're always the same test. They're always asking the same patterns, but with different stories, different contexts, different sources, you see. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
Others, do you have any questions?
Feel free. I'm here to answer. Saya tidak akan tersinggung kalau banyak pertanyaan, malah senang.
Naila, maybe?
Yeah. Anything unclear? Ada yang kurang jelas atau yang perlu saya jelaskan ulang lagi ya?
It is clear enough, everyone?
Yeah. I hope so.
Okay. Riris, do you have any questions, maybe? No? Zainal? Zainal? Salwa? Do you have any question? Is it clear enough for you?
Yeah. Miss Zakia, any questions?
Zakia?
Miss Zakia is swimming, I think. I see the sea behind her or the sky. Are you flying?
Are you flying?
No, it's virtual background, sir.
Jangan nge-fly ya, itu bahaya tuh nanti. Okay. Anybody else? Feel free to ask me a question. If it's difficult, always ask. I'm still here to answer. Or you have to wait till next week. Ini sekali seminggu ya, nggak tiap hari. Ambil kesempatan, Emas. Grab this opportunity. Yeah. Anybody?
Saptika, maybe? Do you have any questions?
I think enough from me.
I have a question, Miss.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Emma.
Kalau bahasa Inggris, that's all from me ya. Jangan enough itu kayak jenuh itu.
I'm
Sorry, sir.
Ya,
I'm so
karena
sorry,
bahasa
sir.
Indonesia cukup dari bahasa Belanda itu. Yang tepat dalam bahasa Inggris, that's all from me. Bagus.
Okay,
Ya.
that's all from me. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Thank you for that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Professor Agus Wardono, any comments? Anything you want to add, or is it clear? I didn't speak too fast, yeah, because sometimes I get carried away. I keep going, but people just ask me, slow down, Frank. You're going to-
Yeah, I think it's clear, Mas Ren. Yeah,
Okay.
clear. Yeah.
Pulling a book.
Information, yeah.
Spirit, do you have any question?
No speeding.
Yes, Miss.
Oh yeah, Spirit, Mr. Frank.
Yeah,
Spirit want to ask.
sure. Feel free. Silakan.
I want to ask you about differences. Mostly, most, and most yang pakai SP, Mister.
Yeah.
Itu kegunaannya bagaimana sih gitu?
Very good question. Even native speakers mix up mostly and most. Mostly means sebagian besar, most of the time, or most of the test, for instance, is easy to do, but not everything, you know. So when you say, how do you spend your free time? When you have leisure time, how do you spend it? Mostly fishing, for instance. Kalau hobi utama seseorang itu mancing, ya, you say, well, mostly fishing, but sometimes I go for a walk. So mostly is an adverb, kata keterangan, biasanya waktu atau sebagian besar, ya. So most of the essay was mostly correct, but I made a few changes, for instance. Most is more in a combination, like it can mean most people. Most like the movie, but some people walked out of the cinema. So most can mean most people. Did you like the food? Most of it was spicy, so you can make a combination. Most of it, sebagian besar dari porsinya, sebagian porsi dari besar. So you can make combination, but mostly is basically an adverb, kata keterangan, and it refers to time. Most of the time, mostly, I spend my time fishing, and it can refer to sebagian besar. Ya. How was my essay? It was mostly correct, but some parts were still in need of revision, for instance. Okay?
There it is.
In the example, it was at most is meaning the maximum. Yeah, at most, maximum part. Yeah, maksimalnya. Okay. Thank you. Good question.
Okay, thank you, Mister.
My pleasure. Sama-sama. Sami-sami. Any more questions? Feel free.
One question, please.
Me again, did this again.
Okay.
No problem.
You want the clarification again? Spirit?
Differences about whose and whom and who
Yeah.
and which.
Yeah, very good questions. These are what we call relative pronouns. So if it refers to the subject, the President of America who visited Indonesia, Presiden Amerika yang mengunjungi Indonesia, then you use who. If it's an object, you switch to whom. For instance, the man whom was arrested by the police, yang ditangkap polisi, kan objek, ya. Then you use whom, especially in writing. In speaking, a lot of Americans, for instance, drop the M. They just say who. In any case, Obama himself, for instance, doesn't use whom anymore. He thinks it's too formal, it's stiff. Bahasa resmi, ya, bagi Obama terlalu kaku. But in written English, officially, you still have to use whom for objects. To whom was the email addressed? Kepada siapa email ini dialamatkan? That is also an example. So object, direct object, objek langsung, or prepositional object, objek setelah kata depan. To whom was the letter addressed, and so on. Then there is whose, 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 kepemilikan. Ada yang ketinggalan cell phone. Whose cell phone is this? You hold it up to the class. Who's this? So milik siapa? Bahasa Indonesianya. And finally, so who, whom, whose, and one more. There were four, I think. Ada empat tadi. Oh, which, yeah. Which is used for things, objects, and animals, but not for people. You cannot say Professor Agus Wardono, which is my friend. It must be who is my friend, because it's a person. Okay, but when you talk about an animal, the monkey in the zoo, which was very expensive to buy from Africa, for instance, has died. Then you switch to which, because a monkey is not a person. Jadi binatang dan objek, ya, things, barang, which is barang in Indonesian. So the wallet, which was on the table, is lost. It's been lost. Jadi dompet yang ada di meja tadi, di atas meja, tiba-tiba hilang, suddenly lost. So which refers to things and to animals. Also babies, if you don't know the gender, kalau bayi belum jelas laki perempuan, bisa juga it, ya. The baby which is 5 months old, that is okay. But as soon as you know the gender, or maybe in Indonesia, girls wear earrings, ya. Kalau bayi perempuan pakai anting, sudah jelas she, that's okay. The baby who. But if it's unclear, it's seen as a kind of object. Okay, Mbak Septika.
Related to that situations, I find that sometimes we call animals with it, but sometimes with their gender like she or he.
Yeah, it depends. It's the influence of Walt Disney. Walt Disney made many movies with animals, cartoon movies or animated movies, where the animal behaves like a human being. For instance, Donald Duck, Donald Bebek, Mickey Mouse. So these are animals who become kind of human. They're personified. They can talk, they can laugh, they can sing. So in that case, if they become a character, menjadi tokoh film misalnya atau cerita, itu ganti ke he atau she, karena dianggap seperti manusia, ya, aktor, seperti you and me. Okay, but normally animals in a zoo, for instance, then you use which and it. Okay, so if they play a role in a movie and they can talk and sing and everything, then they become he, she, and who, because they're treated as humans, because they're kind of humanized. What do you call this? Dimanusiakan. Yeah? But if it's a normal animal, everyday animal in a zoo, then you switch to it and which. Okay?
Okay, so thank you so much.
My pleasure. Any more questions? These are good questions. Excellent. You're thinking about English. That's always a good sign. Tanda baik, ya.
Others, do you have any question? No, it is clear.
Okay, I'm very glad. I think we need to take a screenshot
Okay.
for the administration. Yeah, Pak Agus.
Do
A screenshot, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Turn on your camera, everyone.
Full screen, yeah.
Okay.
Got
Turn on your
everybody.
camera, please. Okay. Iti, Nawa. Okay.
Mr.
Halo,
Zain,
di mana?
ada kumis tapi tidak bicara.
Mr.
Minggu depan,
Zain.
Mr. Zain,
Are you there?
Zainuddin Zain.
Zain.
Ya, pemain bola dari Maroko, ya.
Oh ya, it's same name?
Saya ingat tuh ada pemain sepak bola Maroko yang seperti itu, Zainuddin. Minggu depan harus bicara loh. Saya marah nanti kalau nggak ada
Everyone, you have
nggak
to.
ada ini komentarnya. Okay, nice. I can see all of you. Really, Mbak Titik Sukmawati,
Ya, Titik, come on.
si dari Pak Soekarno, ya, Sukmawati.
Ya, Sukmawati, sir.
Ikut kursus saya merasa terhormat. Dihormati. Yosa, Noviana, Siahun, Ita.
Zainal, Mbak Gilang.
Nice names, but I don't see them. Mbak Lutfiana, Ahmad,
Mat Zainal, come on. Indah. Kita, Lutfiana. Turn on your camera, please.
activate your lens, your camera. There is Iya, lihat semua.
Okay.
Okay, shall we take the
Everyone
picture?
ready? Everyone ready? Real? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see each other next week.
Okay,
Some more
thank
practice. And do your best. Keep practicing every day. Don't skip any day. Every day you have to practice English. Okay. From me, from Bandung, Mas Frank. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
See you, sir.
Baik, matur nuwun.
Okay, everyone.
Bye bye. Take care.
Okay.
Selamat beribadah puasa.
Oh ya, minggu depan mulai ya, Jumat. That's right. Ya, selamat berpuasa ya bulan Ramadan.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Same here. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining this meeting, ya. Please don't forget to compare your absence in the field in the box that I sent in the chat box. You have to check, yeah. And then next week we will meet again. And don't forget to be active, yeah, in participating discussion in our meeting with Mr. Frank. Thank you, Prof. Agus.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay, I'll leave ya. Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. That's all for today. Like I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Miss. See you.
Okay,
Have a
see
nice
you.
day.
Thank you, Miss. Yeah. Okay, see